This is a download from BFM 89.9, the business station.
It's Friday and it's time for Marketing Mojo on Resource Center, and I'm Lim Soon Heng. Today I'm talking to the CEO of Pen Pages, Fong Wai Leong. Pen Pages is a company in the marketing and advertising industry. This is an online business directory which claims a listing of over 10 million businesses, 1 million in Malaysia alone. Welcome.
Thank you, Soon Heng, for having me here.
Now, based on your large database and you're serving such a large number of businesses, what do you see as businesses, especially SMEs, what are their greatest challenges trying to be known, trying to be recognized, trying to win the next order?
There are a lot of challenges for the SME because due to their limited budget and also expertise in their organization. Especially now we're going to internet. Internet is a very big space. There's a lot of information there. To be found is almost like in the big ocean of many fish.
Yeah, so or the other one is a needle in a haystack.
A needle in a haystack, correct, yes. What they need to do actually, they need to have an online presence. They need to be there.
Are you saying that there are still companies, even though they are SMEs, that do not have an online presence?
Yes, that's correct.
Really?
Most of them actually are not online rather than online.
Now, I'm really in a state of shock because I thought that, at least an online presence is a given. Everybody has one. No, not true.
Not true. That's not true.
Any idea what proportion of Malaysian SMEs do not have an online presence?
I think maybe because the owner themselves, they are not well versed with internet. So how many of them actually use smartphone? Actually, there's quite a number of them haven't used the smartphone yet. And how many of them actually go to internet, use it as a communication tool? Many of them, they don't. And because the SME is like pop and mom shops, so the traditional guys will be the owner will be running the business himself, and then the wife is the accountant, taking care of the finances and cash control, and he maybe got 10 to 20 people. So their understanding on internet is actually still not there yet. So now we ask the questions, do you believe in internet? Do you believe in e-commerce? Most of them say yes, but how to do it, they do not know how to do it. So what they need to do actually is they need to be present, need to be there.
So that's the first step. That's the first challenge. SMEs are still not online.
Correct. What they need to do is actually to create content. As simple as what do you do, what product do you sell, where can I find you? So those kind of information.
So we are talking about content, not necessarily specific in the sense that you just generate content. Let's say if I am an SME and I'm in the, I make clothes. I'm a manufacturer. I make clothes. It's not necessary for me to kind of talk about styles and keep a blog site. At this point, like I said, the first step is I just need to tell people where I am, what I do, and how to find me.
Yes, correct. That's the most basic information you should have is a present. Be it your own website, be it our platform, or in Facebook or Google plus local pages and so on. You have to be present. And from there, then you have to add on more richer information, the specs of your products, how good your products is, have some photos, maybe some videos and so on. So then you put it in. So you need to be rich content, and you have to be in the internet early because the internet is a bit like now, I would say it's like a kampong. The internet has shrunk down the world into a small kampong, a small village. When we live in a village, we know everybody. What other people do around us, we know. When we live in a bigger city, then we don't know what our neighbor is. We can't even know their name. So with internet, I actually know what your favorite food is, what you ate for breakfast, and where are you going on holiday, what business you do, and what kind of product you do. So it has shrunk down a lot. So you need to be present, to be in the kampong, in the internet. Then people need time to know you. People need time to trust you. Then there'll be other people talking about you. Other people talking about you. Other people review about your products. Other people talk how good you are or how bad you are. So the little kampong, people share information, which we call the swarm intelligence.
Swarm
intelligence. It's like a swarm of bees. They're talking.
Swarm.
Yeah, swarm. So they are talking. And they are always right one. The people talking in the internet is always correct. They'll say that your product no good, your service sucks, you are really lousy company, you cheat me, and so on.
In a sense, the consumer is never wrong.
Yes,
is that what you're saying?
correct.
No, you started with this idea that the SMEs, all SMEs must have an online presence. And the online presence, at least at the most basic level, they need to have information about their company, what they do, who they are, how to get into contact with them. When there are so many out there already, if I were to kind of throw my hat into a large bucket of hats, who will pick up my hat? How will I even know that somebody's going to contact me?
That's where you need to know your targeted audience. So that's the next important thing you need to know is who you want to reach out. For example, a factory manufacturing pumps, he need to talk to people who buy pumps, maybe another factory. So those B2B guys come in. So you must know your audience and you go there. So you go there will be it a print directory, factory that manage the pumps.
Yeah, kind of trade magazines where they have that kind of a directory, yes.
Or a B2B online marketplace. Or if you go overseas, it will be Alibaba. And if you are, like you said, clothes manufacturer on about fashions and so on. So then you go to have B2C platform. Your audience is the people consumers who are looking for fashion. So you maybe go to Facebook where you have a conversation with them. So those marketing are not display ad, just have a nice design. So actually those you have conversation with your audience. So you chat with them. You say, what is the color of the month? Black is good or orange is good. And
I hear
so
turquoise is the new color. No, but at some level, I know the bigger SMEs know how to ask the kinds of questions. Do, like you say, you're dealing with a lot of ma and pa shops. Do they know how to ask these kinds of questions? Somebody say, I sell traditional medicine. I have a store, somewhere down this road. Some people come and buy from me. Who is your audience? They might not be able to give you a very detailed answer beyond that. People who come to see me, people who are sick.
Yeah. If we ask the right question, they should know who they sell to. Like, for example, the medicine shop, say in PJ. So he say, I sell to mainly the Chinese community, certain age group within the area. So then you are well defined who you want to reach. The beautiful things about internet now is location. So the Solomon, one of them, social, local, and then mobile. So the location plays an important role. When certain people look for a product, they need to find location. Where is it near me? Within 5 kilometers. I don't want to go 50 kilometers away. So your community is there, Chinese. So you must target it. And where are these guys hang out in the internet? Whether it's Facebook, whether it's any other platforms. So or Google. Google is a search advertising.
Engine,
Where people look for, I'm having a cough, and I live in PJ. This is your target. So we interact with the SME. Then after we ask a few questions, they should know who they want to target. Usually they know one.
Fong Wai Leong, Group CEO of Pen Pages, a business search and online directory. Next up, what can SMEs do to overcome the challenges of being noticed and getting that order? This is Marketing Mojo on Resource Center, BFM 89.9, the business station. This is Marketing Mojo on Resource Center. Fong Wai Leong from Pen Pages has been talking to us about the challenges SMEs face when they are trying to stand out, especially as a service provider or manufacturer in a crowded field. So far, we've talked about they must have an online presence. Next, they must provide some basic information, and that is what you call content. Beyond that, what might they need to do?
That's the start. They must put content. So after they put content, they enrich it and they add more contents to it. Then the technical part comes in.
When you say they have to enrich this content, what exactly do you mean? We go back to our traditional medicine guy. This person has, I'm located here. I sell this kind of products. Here's my contact information. What other content are you talking about to enrich the site?
More on this what you call their products. So what kind of medicine they have, what kind of disease need to be cured or for what sign and symptoms. So you add more content to just rather than I'm selling, say, those minyak angin cap kapak. For what? For headache, I'm not feeling well and so on. So you add more details. These details are all very good in later what they call search engine optimization. That you need details for the search engine to come and look for you.
Because of keywords that's found on your site.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, correct. So you have to enrich those content. Then people come and view. The more people come and view your page, the better it is. They look for something. They want to learn something from it. And other things is like testimonial, user reviews, those things that come in. User reviews are the best because when people talk good about you, it's better than you say 1,000 times that how good you are.
What if I were a B2B business? I mean, putting it on Facebook might not be the right thing though.
Yeah. Traditionally, we are very strong in B2B from the print side, the super pages, because most of our customers are from the B2B. For example, the people who manufacture pumps, generators, aircons, and so on. So what kind of content they need to put in their products, but the technical spec become very important. You know, what is the wattage for how big it is, the measurement for what use. They become very technical. The people who are searching for this type of machines, they want technical information, very precise information. So you have to put all those in.
Do our manufacturers know and understand that that's the kind of information that they need to put into their sites as the content?
They know, actually, because previously what they do is they print a brochure. The brochure about this machine. So the brochure, they got a lot of technical specification information at the back and so on. So it's actually putting it online and making it search engine friendly. So you have to put them. No point you just scan the whole thing in. then people can't find it.
Because it's in a kind of a PDF and you cannot pull out the information from that. Is that
correct?
Is that the issue?
Yes.
Okay.
So you need to input in and you need to update it, and then you need to sort it, easy to find. When you organize the pumps or the generators, you sort it nicely. When people look for it, it's easy to look for it.
What you're telling me suggests that if I were an SME, I must have some dedicated resources to do all this work. First, figure out what kind of information I want out there, and then go find the websites, create a website, link it up to all the social networks, sites, your social media, and then have somebody dedicated to every day updating information. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. The internet actually frightens a lot of people because it's so complex. You know, there's so many platforms. You got Google, Pen Pages, Alibaba, where do I go, Facebook. It's quite complex, and how people look for things also quite complex. So the entrepreneur, the SME themselves actually got no time to understand this. They focus 90% of the time doing business. So marketing in the internet is a new ball game. The word is the right platform. So like you say, a person who's selling machine shouldn't advertise in Facebook, and that's correct. So you must go to the right platform, a B2B platform and so on. The selling clothes one should go to Facebook and Google and so on.
Unless it's a contract manufacturer.
Yeah, unless contract manufacturers, you B2B, sell by the containers and you go to B2B. The entrepreneur got no time to do this, and to understand it is actually to wrap your head around it. Sometimes it's quite difficult. We also confuse ourselves. Sometimes we say, okay, what is the media? You know, whether Pen Pages is the media, whether Google is the media. Then we sort of realize that, hey, the network is the media. The whole internet itself is a media. Everyone is connected, and people using it in every platform.
Is there a danger, for instance, like say I'm an SME, I don't have the resources. Basically, I outsource it to a company that manages my content, link my content to all the necessary social media. But at the same time, I lose control of the data that's been collected. I lose control over the sites that I have because I've outsourced it.
Actually, the data still belong to the SME. So you control the SME. But whether you got full understanding where it goes, then that's the question we ask. Do you know where it goes or not? So it go back to we publish it to the right place so to generate leads to your business. So we are lead generation people. So the leads will come to your business. They call up, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. So we generate leads. So these are all measurable. The beautiful about internet is all measurable. How many hits, how many people click, how many people call you, and so on. And then you also can track the user, the people who come and look at you, come and buy things from you. So it is now, the ROI is quite easily tracked.
I'm not disputing that everything is digital, therefore it's quite measurable. But the whole idea that if I am a company that is in business and suddenly I am engaging or I'm outsourcing all these activities to a third party, am I not losing control of how I'm being perceived, or even losing control of what am I doing? Because somebody else is doing it all for me.
I mean, you put it that way, yes. For example, if you look at Facebook conversation with your customer, so you say you engage us to have a conversation with the audience. So we will be doing the talking, we're having a conversation.
Right.
So our style of talking will be very different from you.
Correct.
But you shouldn't be concerned so much as long as I bring customers. As long as I bring customer, you should be happy. How we have that conversation, if we can't bring customer, then we have failed. So the style of talking and the style of having conversation with the new generation of people has changed. The way we communicate has changed. We can have conversation with 1,000 people at the same time. So those are very new things. As the owner of the SME, so you find it quite strange to communicate, having a chat through Facebook with 1,000 people. And the style of talking is very different. Asking questions, get fishing for response and so on. So it's very different.
Yeah. Some would say that, if I'm the owner, I might have a sense of what my brand represents. If I outsource it, the person who is dealing with this conversation, the person who is dealing with my site might not quite know what my brand is and therefore might not have my brand values.
I think that one we work with the owner to have a consistent message, consistent values to the brand. Certain people they have their values, their message, how they want to sell their product, how they want to communicate, and how they want to perceive in the market. So we actually do that with the bigger customer. The smaller customer, actually, they just say, get the message out. So
they don't care.
They don't care. The bigger one, yes, you
Sure.
shouldn't talk about this. You shouldn't talk about that. The smaller guys, just get me out there, get the customer in. That's all. Full stop.
How long is the engagement between you and an SME before something goes really live?
Almost immediately. Our salespeople will go and talk to them, then assess. Actually, before we go and talk to them, we already know them. So there are certain traffics coming in already. So we already know them, what category business they do, and who are their target audience, and what is the traffic coming. So we roughly know them before we even see them. So when we see them, then we assess their...
What else they might need.
Yes. And how do you believe in internet or not? So the first question we always ask, do you believe in internet or not? So they say, and most of them say yes. And you know how to do it, and most of them no. Yeah.
Group CEO of Pen Pages, Feng Wai Leong. This is a company in the marketing and advertising industry offering business, search, and online directory. This is Marketing Mojo and Resource Center, and I'm Lim Soon Heng, BFM 89.9, the business station.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. To find more great interviews, go to bfm.my or find us on iTunes. BFM 89.9, the business station.